It was one of those early spring nights when everything is full and sensual and ready to open wide to the caressing night air. And like a blossom of the night, Dahlia waited, ready to open to the touch of her beloved James. Suddenly, the door flew open,
as if a storm had struck the house. But the storm had a face and a name. It was James, standing in the open doorway, young and strong and irresistible.
Talk about hot. Can't believe Fondorian could write something so steamy.
Carissima, he whispered in that language they reserved for their most intimate moments. And then his arms were around her and his hands were everywhere at once, exploring her, searching out her.
Wait a minute. Dahlia, James. Young and strong, Carissima. Oh my God, this is Joey. This is Dorian and Joey.
Sex motel with 2 babies and a nun. Maggie. Lovely. Okay, just think about peas and carrots, yeah. I'll think about shoveling snow. I'll think about anything but her. That's it. Yeah, okay. This is going to be a very, very long night.
Patrick! I saw the vehicle jam! We're not going to make it!
Nothing that's going to turn on to this. They'll keep you afloat. It's not a mistake, come.
No, we're not going to make it! We're going to die to see my mother!
Move it!
CJ? It's okay, you can come in. Do you have another nightmare?
Something like that, yeah.
Oh, what? What are you doing here? In the middle of the night.
Well, I went to see Ace at the hospital, and afterwards I went back to my place. I couldn't sleep, so I was driving around. I saw your light. I thought I'd come by and kiss the kids goodnight.
Come on, come here. I couldn't sleep myself.
You know, when CJ crawls into bed with Mommy, I usually get him some milk and cookies.
Oh, yeah. I think right now I would settle for one of your back rubs.
Got it.
Oh, yes. Oh, God.
You know, when I heard Asa had turned up, I thought that was good news.
Yeah, I thought so, too. And then I saw what kind of condition he's in.
I heard he's not himself.
Oh, no. Physically, I guess he's all right, but mentally, I don't know. He knows who he is, but that's about it. Doesn't know Alex, his own wife, or me, his grandson.
Look, I'm sure it's temporary. He may have just bumped his head while he was missing. His memory will clear up in no time, and he'll be back to his old, obnoxious self soon.
What if he's not, Tina? What if all this is my fault? I mean, I practically kicked him out of his own building, right out of Buchanan Enterprises. I mean, now I'm sitting behind his desk. I've taken his job.
Wait a minute. Cord Roberts, you know, I have known you since you were a wild, crazy cowboy in Texas. I have been with you through 3 marriages and 2 children, and I can say this without a hesitation. You have never been smarter, stronger, or braver than you are right now.
I appreciate that, Tina. But you didn't see Asa. I'm telling you, he looks like a lost soul. And if I caused that, if that was my doing, then...
No. The person behind it is Carlo Hesser. Ever since he came to town, you know, nothing has gone right. And frankly, I'm starting to get scared about how all of this is going to end.
You scared me half to death.
I'm sorry. Couldn't resist. Saw you sitting there, and I'm surprised to even see you home. I thought you were babysitting Little Meteor.
Star. Now, I was supposed to be babysitting for Blair so she could get her work done, and poor little Star, she was teething, and I really, really couldn't get her calmed down. So, surprise good or surprise bad?
Oh, very good. You know, I can't remember the last time we had this whole place to ourselves. What do you say, you and me, make up for lost time?
He knew her body by heart, and yet each time he touched her there was a new and exciting discovery. His mouth met her skin with a tiny, painless bite, and suddenly 1,000 volts of electricity shot through her. She didn't know whether to scream or to beg him to do it again. But before she could decide, he was lifting her into his arms and carrying her to the bed. I can do better than that. Let's see. Before she could decide, he was lifting her into his arms and carrying her onto the leather couch. Its cold, sleek surface now caressing her nakedness, yes. And as he lowered himself onto her and... Who could the...
Oh, Blair. Wait a minute. Is there something wrong with the baby?
Oh, no. She's fine, and unless you have a cure for teething. She has been up for hours cutting a tooth, and, well, Kelly, she was hopeless, and Monty had a family matter, so Mommy took charge.
Oh, the poor baby.
The poor Mommy. You know, usually I can put her in the car seat, and she goes right to sleep, but tonight it was...
We'll put her in that little porta crib I keep for her visits. We'll give her a nice warm bottle of formula. She'll fall asleep. I have a lullaby, guaranteed to do the job. And then we will give her Mommy a nice snifter of brandy.
Could I have a lullaby, too? Please. Oh, dear.
Maybe what you really want to do is drop by the stables and visit the wild Irish poets.
I did, but it was dark. I guess even a poet needs to sleep sometime.
Or else he's out in some bar trying to drown his memories of Marty Saybrook.
Margaret! God, never, no. Stay there!
I can't!
Give me your hand!
I can't let you do! You're gonna die!
You must be starving. Let me get you something to eat.
Everything I want is right here.
As his skin met hers and they melted together into one pulsating body, sleek, with sweat and mutual desire.
Music.
What?
I know how to exactly get your mind off school and everything else.
Kelly.
Let's dance.
Kelly, it's been a very long night.
Come on, you love to dance. Let's do it.
Okay, okay. But not this. This is not. There we go. Now that is something I can relate to. Hey, I'm not being a stick in the mud, am I?
No.
Sure?
No, I wouldn't call you that.
Oh, good.
Now, she whispered in a breathless moan. Now, James. For all her independence, she was helpless to resist his youth, his strength, and his...
No.
Kelly.
Please, just stay here. I know exactly what you need.
Look, I know you're worried, and I know you're feeling guilty.
I just want the old Asa back, that's all. That feels great.
The old Asa is never coming back, even when he gets his memory back. You know, great old cowboys have to hang up their spurs someday.
I know, I just never thought that I was going to be the one to put Asa Buchanan out to pasture, that's all. Oh, right there.
Look, you know, you didn't sabotage this company. That was Carlo Hesser's doing. You stepped in to rescue the company and keep the family in control.
I keep telling myself that's what I did, but come on, look what it cost to Asa.
Well, Asa had to step aside someday, Cord, and you were the man that was already chosen to take his place. Lie back.
Tina.
I said lie back.
There's just more to it. It's not just what happened to Asa, I guess it's what's happening to me, too. I mean, come on, who do I think I am? I'm trying to replace this living legend, Asa Jeb Stuart Buchanan. I mean, who the hell do I think I am? I'll never fit into his boots.
I beg your pardon?
Ow, ow.
These feet are plenty big to fill his boots. You want to know the truth?
What's the truth, Tina?
I'll tell you.
Okay.
You have been ready for this challenge for a long, long time. And the only person holding you back is you.
Is that a fact?
Yeah, that is a fact. So quit trying to hide your light under some bushel. Get out and show the world who you really are.
You know, Tina,
Sometimes I know I talk too much.
sometimes you know exactly what to say to me. Thank you.
Why does God make a woman like you and send her to a man like me? All the while knowing that she'll be leaving. Since Luna left, I don't want to care about anyone again. I don't want to need anyone. It's hard to live without it.
What are you doing?
What am I doing? I'm lying here being a gentleman trying to fall asleep while you're climbing all over me.
Oh, excuse me, but I was asleep.
Well, that must have been some dream you were having because you were coming on to me in your sleep.
Oh, in your dreams, mister. Look, you may think the entire female population, waking or sleeping, can't resist you, man.
Keep it down so you don't wake the twins, huh?
Well, it's just as well. We can't stay in bed all morning.
is night. It is dark outside.
It is almost sunup.
Oh, Rita?
Oh, please, close the blinds and hand me my sunglasses if you don't mind. Come on, it's 2 hours before the sun even comes up. Would you please? It's Betty by time.
No, no way.
The bedbugs will not bite.
It's not the bed bugs I'm worried about. Thank you. Is my car back? They said they'd have it here by 2 a.m. Yep, there she is, all gassed and ready. I tell you what, we'll just throw this in the trunk, put the kids in the back, and they'll sleep all the way to North Carolina.
Yeah, and I might too, which could be fatal.
Oh, please, truck drivers drive at this hour all the time. Come on, you'll have the highway all to yourself. Max? Fine, you stay here and enjoy your little porno flicks, okay? And in the vibrating bed, I'm going to put them in the back, and I'm going to have them to North Carolina by dawn, with or without you.
Forgot my jacket.
You're working on your book. No, I was just proofing the galleys. I would much rather sit and talk. Go, go, go. Thank you.
You know what I was doing before Star got so fussy? I was trying to figure out a new marketing strategy for Melidor. I swear, Dorian, I can feel that company slipping.
Well, you have been concentrating on your newspaper.
Yeah. But if Todd were here, he would tell me what I should do. I mean, he would know just like that. He always did. Always. Now I just sit and stare at those papers, and I was actually glad when Star woke up and needed me. Sometimes it just seems like the sun will never, ever come up.
Honey, I know that you miss Todd, and, you know, you probably always will. But the fact is, he is gone, and you really should realize that and get on with your life.
Well, you make it sound so easy.
No, it's really hard. But then suddenly you round a corner you didn't even know existed, and the pain is not so painful anymore.
How can you be so sure?
Because it happened to me on that cruise. Yes, I was standing at the railing looking up at the moon and the stars, and then suddenly it hit me. Really, that I was nothing more than just a little speck. And all my pain and my loneliness, they were just little specks too. And if that's true of me, it's true of everybody. I mean, we flicker for just a little while and then we burn out. It was a mystical moment, a real revelation.
A real downer. Oh, yeah. We live, we die, the end.
No, it's not the end. But the point is that if we are here for just a short time, then we ought to leave something behind, something valuable and lasting.
Like your book?
Well, I started writing the first chapter that night. When the dawn came up, I was still writing. It was glorious.
Well, it must have been good therapy to put all that pent-up feelings down on paper.
It wasn't therapy. No, it was cathartic creativity. I took all of my pain and then I turned it into something positive. And if I can do it, so can you.
Yeah, right, Dorian. I don't think I'm a novelist, you know.
I am not talking about writing, dear. I'm talking about living. You listen to me, okay? What you need to do is go and find something new and exciting for your life. And what could be newer or more exciting than something you've already started? Oh, Blair, you've never been dense. Patrick Thornhart.
Keep moving. Just keep kicking your leg.
What's the point? There's no sign of land. There's no light. There's nothing.
No, we're not that far out.
What?
When the boat left the river, we had to have see it's not that long ago. We're not that far out.
No, we're too far.
No, maybe a mile. We'll see land come dawn.
Hypothermia.
What?
Hypothermia.
No, we won't even worry about that. Just keep kicking your legs.
It won't work.
What won't work?
It won't work. Sooner than later, cold water will pull us down.
Just keep fighting it.
In an hour, maybe a little more.
Damn it, Bertie, don't give up on me. We just hang in there. We'll live. We'll live.
It's all in your mind, Margaret.
Oh, my feet. I can't feel my toes.
Just keep kicking your legs. Keep moving. You feel that?
Feel what?
That warm breeze. It must be coming up the land. We're going the right direction.
No, I was just saying that.
Well, I'm not just saying. You think I'm making it up?
Yeah, because you know.
No. Did I make up that wonderful heap of rocks called Innisfree?
It was long ago, and it was far away.
What if it's not? Oh, what if Innisfree is right out there in the darkness? Right out of our sight. What if in a minute or two we can see it? Just out there.
Picture it, Margaret. The coast, the pure, clean sunlight. The smell of the peat burning in the fireplace. The fireplace at the Wild Swan. And Mr. Keneally, smiling to greet us, is offering us hot tea. Think of it. Think of it, Margaret. The music. The joy. The warmth. Oh, just think of the warmth, Margaret.
Just hold on. Just hold on, baby. Just hold on.
Patrick Thornhart is a means to an end and nothing more. And every time Marty Saybrook sees us together, she's going to know the kind of pain that I feel every time I think of Todd.
Blair, I know how it all started, but I have seen you and Patrick together. There's a definite spark.
Well, there better be, because I worked very hard to create it.
Oh, Blair, please. I'm not talking about a calculated seduction. I'm talking about something that you didn't plan.
Patrick is a very attractive man.
Really? I never noticed.
And sometimes when I'm with him, I feel...
Turned on.
Attracted.
It's the same thing.
You know, okay, so what? Even if one thing led to another, he would still just be a warm body in my bed for one night, and that's it.
Sounds okay to me. Oh, Blair, please. So that would be the first night, but then there would be a next night.
There'll be a next night, Dorian. When Todd died, a part of me died with him.
Blair, get real.
The only feeling I have left is for my family. You, my mother, Cassie, and Star, and I swear to God, if I didn't have Star, I would be as cold and as dead as her father.
Blair, if you don't let go of this grief and move on, you are going to live a long and lonely life.
Well, you don't always get what you want, Dorian, do you?
Well, then find something else that you do want, something new and exciting, and go after it.
I already found it. It's called revenge.
Okay. Loved her. Raid the refrigerator, don't you? Okay, we've got ham, we've got turkey and Swiss cheese.
I told you, I'm not even hungry.
Come on, there's got to be something here that you want.
There is. You.
Joey, come on, you can't go to bed hungry. If you want to be strong and
You know
healthy.
what makes me strong? Being beside you. Holding. Thinking about what it was like.
What was like when?
In Paris. The tell me you've forgotten already.
No. No, some things you never forget.
I remember everything.
You do?
Mm-hmm. I remember jumping into the fountain, soaking wet, going back to our hotel, making love for the first time.
I guess you never forget your first time, do you?
Let's not live in the past, though. Let's look forward to the next time. But someplace more romantic than Paris. That's something exotic and exciting, like Hawaii, Tahiti. Tahiti, we'll get one of those little bungalows on the beach. Listen to the ocean. Every night we'll dance to the island music. I know.
Now, if you're not going to eat any of this, then I should probably bring it back and get some sleep.
What's wrong?
Nothing. I've just had a very long night with a baby who wouldn't stop crying, and now you won't eat. And all of a sudden, I feel like I've run out of steam.
Okay.
Good night.
Good night. Sense and Sensuality, a novel by Dorian Lord. It was James, standing in the open doorway, young and strong and irresistible. Carissima, he whispered in that language they reserved for their most intimate moments. And then his arms were around her, his hands were everywhere at once, exploring her, searching out her This is your great American novel. Oh, this is just great. No way. There's no way I'm letting you get away with this.
Mommy, I had a bad dream.
CJ said, is something wrong?
No, everything's great. Yeah, just great.
Hi, kids. Well, at least somebody's awake. Wonder if the sun's about to rise or if he just had a good night in the hen house.
Shh.
What?
Shh. The lights are out. Nona's family's still asleep.
That's because normal people live here. They sleep when it's dark, unlike me who has to travel at night with a nun who has to resist temptation at every turn.
I was not resisting temptation.
No?
No.
Then why aren't we on some lumpy mattress with magic fingers instead of standing out here in the dark? Sorry.
It's okay.
No, I promised you I wouldn't take any more cheap shots.
Max, it's okay. I guess that I was, resisting temptation a little bit. Because of the vibrating fingers.
You know, it's not so bad out here.
Mm-mm. The mountain air, the honeysuckle. You know, it reminds me a lot of the
summers on the Eastern Shore, you know, that big old rambling house overlooking the Chesapeake. Back when my brother was alive, my mother, man, everything was so new.
May, are you praying?
No, I was just thinking, you know, maybe it'd be a good idea if you take me back into town and drop me off at that bus stop in front of the diner, you know. With any luck, I can be back in Landview by this afternoon.
Maggie, please don't go. Stay here with me.
Hey, remember those mornings? Magical mornings on Lily's Crag.
Too far. Far away.
No, it's not. We're almost there now. Can you see it? Can't you see the mornings? Just hang on a minute now.
I can't.
Don't give up on me now. Come on.
No, I'm just so cold.
Take your legs. Keep kicking. When the sun comes up, we'll have all the warmth.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Patrick. I'm so tired. I can't.
Don't give up on me now, Margaret. Stay with me. Will you fight? Will you fight? Stay up. You'll live. You live. Stay with me.
I won't keep you here now if that's what you really want to do. I just want to thank you for coming to the rescue.
Couldn't leave you stranded on the side of the road.
I don't mean just helping out with a broken down car. I mean helping with the twins and putting up with a sleazy motel room and just for everything.
You're welcome.
Uh-oh.
I knew it was you. Hey. Oh. Marty, didn't I tell you it was him?
That's what he said. Max
Oh.
Holden, give us a hug. Oh, now why didn't you knock? We were just in the kitchen.
You look gorgeous as always. And Charlemagne, how are you doing?
Well, I'm a little annoyed. Why don't you say something? Let everybody know you're here.
Well, I was,
Where are those babies? I want to see those
I'm sorry.
babies.
Well, they're out in the car. They're asleep. They're okay. What happened to your hair?
Oh, my wife likes it this way. If the woman I love likes it, I like it.
Oh, okay.
Don't you think that's how it ought to be?
Oh, yeah, you bet.
Oh, I'm sorry. Maud Moody, Charlemagne Moody, this is Maggie Carpenter, a friend who, without her help, we wouldn't have made it here.
Pleasure, Maggie. Welcome.
Welcome to Chez Moody, as they say in France.
Well, thanks. It's great to be here, especially after that trip we had.
Yeah.
Well, I hope you're hungry.
Yeah.
Maud's about to start up on her famous breakfast celebration.
Actually, I can't. I have to get back to town.
You hear that, Marty? Lady says she's got to get back to Landview. What do you say about that?
Over my dead body.
It's settled. Now, why don't you go get those babies, and we'll put the griddle on.
Look, I think Daddy needs to explain something to you guys. Look, sometimes, people...
Daddy, we know why you're here.
You do you?
I told you it would work. All we had to do was make a wish. All that starlight, star bright stuff, it worked, didn't it?
Look, sometimes things aren't exactly what they seem to be.
Mommy, I'm not a baby anymore. Yeah, we know what it means when people sleep in the same bed.
Oh, you do you?
Sure. They have to get married. Yeah, I'm gonna be the flower girl again. This time, I get to be the best man.
Kelly?
What are you doing here?
I woke up to get some water. Heard somebody crying. Guess it's you, huh?
Please go away, Drew. I said go away.
You know I don't take directions well. Hey, remember the time we were in Thornhart's class and you had to stand up and talk about that paper you turned in on Midsummer Night's Dream? How'd you get away with him not finding out you hadn't written it and you didn't know what you were talking about?
Fire alarm went off.
And who pulled that alarm?
You did.
So, when you're in trouble, remember who can help, okay?
Nobody can help, Drew.
You just what?
Never mind, just go away. I just really wish I could have a mother. I wish that I could have somebody to talk to. Tell things that I can't tell other people about.
Guys are like that with their fathers.
Jessica complains about her mother being bossy and nosy. I could deal with that.
This is about Joey, right?
No. Yeah. Kind of. A little bit.
Can you be a little more specific?
I can't, Drew. It's embarrassing.
You need a mom.
Yeah. Listen, I'm gonna go up and try to get some sleep. It's gonna be dawn soon. Drew.
Yeah?
Thank you.
You're welcome. I hope you can talk about whatever it is with Joey.
Are you kidding? No way.
I've been working, but really, Blair, for goodness sakes, why didn't you just spend the night and spare... Hi, Joe. I'm sorry, is there something wrong with Kelly?
Would you leave her out of this? This is between you and me. What the hell were you thinking when you wrote this?
Come on, just a little further. Come on, Margaret, just hang on.
You're so peaceful.
That's not peace. It's the cold trying to take you away from me. Don't let it.
Oh, you're making me sure. Oh, John, I'm sorry.
Hey, help me. Tell him yourself. I'm not going anywhere without you.
No, it's okay. I'm not scared. I hear my mother. I hear my mother calling to me. Don't you see? Meant to be.
God, give her strength, will you? Give her strength. Margaret, don't give up. Stay with me. Peace, Mary, Joseph, I see a light. Look.
You're not supposed to be pretending.
I'm not pretending. At the flashing light of the camera, Margaret. We're close to shore. We can make it. We can swim for it.